Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't been on in a while, but today I'm going to be doing another get ready with me. And I think it might be quite a long video. We'll see. So Elijah is taking a nap right now, and so this is my opportunity to film for you guys. The reason why I'm taking off my zit cream that I put on in front of you guys is because this is me, okay? And this is what I do. I put on zit cream a couple times a week because I have zits. So, and I think I got one like right there. That's fucking hot. Anyways, I've got my tea here. This says, I have the power to have fun. I'm not sure where I got this cup. Maybe Erica gave it to me. I'm not completely sure. Did you give this to me, Erica? A long time ago? Got offered a job as a customer service rep for a company that I'm not going to say the name of because that's not important. But so I'm just waiting for the hiring manager to get back. He's been out sick. And then I have to do the background check and the drug test, and then I'll be working. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been waiting on for the last couple days now. And I've been sick for a couple days. I think the only reason Elijah is taking a nap today is because he's getting sick. This morning he woke up with a really runny nose, and he's napping on the couch now, my poor babe. But he doesn't have a fever or anything. It's just like one of those minor colds. I'm scared. So I'm drinking some lemon tea, and there's another thing in it. It starts with an E. It's like a couple flowers. There's like rosebuds in it and a couple other things, but it's just supposed to help me feel a little bit better. It's me. I know that I told you guys that I wanted to make this a mental health channel, and I've been going back and forth with that quite a lot just because it's so new into my journey, into my mental health journey. I'm through this mental health journey for about a year now, and I'm still going through it, and I know that I'll be able to talk about it more when I'm over it, if that makes sense. Like, not over it, but just more healed, I guess you could say. But I've been learning a lot about narcissistic abuse and like living in toxic shame. And I feel like when you grow up around toxic shame, you are gonna, it's inevitable that you're gonna also inherit that as well. And I was watching this video yesterday, and they were saying that toxic shame is actually at the core of addiction, and it made so much sense. And I grew up around addiction, and yeah, I'm not very emotionally intelligent yet, just because my parents weren't emotionally intelligent. Pretty much everyone I was around when I was younger was not emotionally intelligent. So therefore, I have to do a bunch of research on my own. I have to reach out to my therapist, go on my own. Even though I feel like talk therapy isn't doing it for me anymore, I really want to go to like trauma therapy for PTSD. And a lot of people think that post-traumatic stress is just for like veterans or whatever, or people who are like physically beaten. Trauma is trauma. And if nobody can tell you that it wasn't traumatic because you know yourself, you know? And it's just a lack of not having boundaries and I'm learning how to create boundaries with within myself and within my toddler, because often when you're raised by a narcissist, you pick up on their lack of boundaries, so you kind of feel like you're an extension of them, but really you're a totally separate person from them. And I want Elijah and I to be separate people, you know. I don't want him to feel obligated to make me happy or vice versa, you know. I want us to have healthy boundaries, and I want him to know that he's loved unconditionally, and no matter what, I'm going to always love him. And of course, there's going to be consequences for passing a healthy boundary that I have set. And also, I need to learn how to respect his boundaries. And it's going to get, as he gets older, that's going to be more relevant. Because right now he's 4. But I want to, or he's almost 4. I want to start early. And that's why I'm doing so much research on shame and empathy, because for so long I felt that I was like guilty. And guilt is different. Guilt is saying I did something bad and therefore I feel guilty. And shame is I am bad. And when you start shaming your child's behavior, they start thinking that something is wrong with them. And I want to be more focused on, like when I'm disciplining him, I want to be focused on the behavior and not making him think that he's defective or bad. And I also am just like not in the mood this year to put up with people that can't apologize. You know, like, I'm sure I played a part in a lot of the arguments my mom and I got in. But I also know that I was her child, and I had the right to a stable home and emotional support and unconditional love, and I know that I didn't get that. Sure, I was physically taken care of, financially taken care of, but I never felt emotionally connected to my mom. I was never able to tell her anything without her using it against me later. And so I want to break that cycle. And I also notice that I feel angry all the time, and I know that the anger is just like the tip of the iceberg, and then underneath is all the real emotions that I'm feeling, like sadness, hurt, and feeling not worthy enough. And so I want to be able to feel my emotions and go through my emotions instead of avoiding them or numbing them. I've also been reading a book from Brene Brown. I actually read 2 of her books. One of her books, I forgot the name of it, but the one I'm currently reading is called Daring Greatly. And that's about being vulnerable and, you know, showing up as yourself. And I really think that me learning how to be vulnerable and me learning how to be empathetic is going to help my relationship with my son. Ultimately, it all boils down to my relationship with my son and my relationship with myself, and other people. I can't change other people. I can't make other people apologize to me. All I can do is work on myself and control myself. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I actually stay up really late researching ways to get healthier and understand shame and empathy and vulnerability, because I can remember certain instances where I was vulnerable as a child and rejected in that vulnerability, and I didn't like that feeling. So I became less and less vulnerable, started quieting my voice, started believing what people said about me, let people treat me however they wanted to treat me, and I did nothing about it. And that really killed my spirit and my self-esteem and my relationships with people and the relationships that I chose to stay in were all a lack of boundaries and self-respect and love and lack of self-love. And oh yeah, and I also wanted to talk about narcissism and self-love. So a lot of people think that being a narcissist means that you take a lot of selfies and you love yourself so much and you're just obsessed with yourself. And that's not the case at all. Usually people who, well, that's a form of narcissism, but there's also another form where the narcissist actually really hates themselves and they also feel a lot of shame. But they are all about power and control, and they don't want to be wrong. They refuse to apologize because they'll feel powerless. And as an adult, you have to realize that you are human, you are capable of hurting other people, and other people's feelings are valid. If they say that you hurt their feelings, then you might have hurt their feelings, and you need to apologize for that. And you need to really mean it. And, you know, I've apologized before just to keep the peace, because there are times when I really didn't do anything, but she would tell me, like, you need to apologize or I'm not going to talk to you. And I'm like, dang, okay, like, you literally started attacking my self-esteem or my parenting, and I'm the one that has to apologize. Like, no, thank you. I'm not doing that anymore. I would rather not. I'd rather cut it off, no contact, just so I can keep the peace with myself instead of my mom. Of course, I would love a relationship with my mom and my dad as well, but they're not willing to educate themselves and be better. They're just going off of what they know, and I still have a lot of work to do as far as being the mom I would like to be. I still get angry and I still yell, and when I'm like in the middle of yelling, I know what I'm doing, and I'm like, you know what, I need to stop doing this. And sometimes I feel like I can't. So it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a long journey, but it's gonna be worth it, because I don't want my son to feel shame like I do. And there's a lot of people think that you have to be like physically hit or sexually abused to feel toxic shame, but no, you can just be yelled at. Like, yelling is not healthy. You feel threatened inside when you're angry and you're yelling, and so you need to figure out what is threatening you and why do you feel like that, like, why are you taking stuff so personally, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I need to ask myself on the daily. Out of my Mario Badescu face wash, so I've been literally using Dial hand soap as a face wash, and it's like, it's antibacterial, but it's drying because I think it might have alcohol in it. I don't know, but I'm broke as a joke right now, so yeah. And not only like am I learning about narcissism and shame and guilt and empathy and all those things, but I'm also learning just to be myself. And if somebody doesn't like it, then they don't like it, but it's me, you know? Like, I'm done like feeling bad for being me, showing up as me. My childhood was based on you know, like, my family is really religious, and I feel like when I'm learning about mental health and shame and all of those things, I'm learning that people can use religion as a manipulation tool to make themselves feel better about what they've done, or feel righteous, or protect their public image. And that's not what religion is for, obviously. And I feel like my family uses religion as a manipulation tool, and to get people to act like a certain way. And I don't think that that's healthy at all. I think that you should give people a choice whether or not that they want to apply religion to certain things in their life. And if they don't want to, then they don't want to. And I think that should be respected. And maybe it is out of a legit concern for the other person, but the way my family's set up, I doubt it. And I'm not talking about every single member of my family either, because obviously everyone's different, but yeah. And that's not to say I don't believe in God. Like, I do believe in God, and I am religious, but I also think that there's a time and a place for it. I don't know. I just feel like it's been used as a manipulation tool. So yeah, today I don't really have anything going on today. I'm just maybe gonna go to the store and buy some more eggs. Elijah and I eat a good breakfast every day. We have like eggs and bacon and potatoes. So yeah, another thing is I wish that I didn't have to work a job that I really don't like and answer to people that I don't want to. I mean, I don't know if I don't really like this job yet, but it's not my dream job, that's for damn sure. And I go back and forth with like what I think my dream job is. Like, if I did have a choice, what would it be, you know? I think my choice would be to be able to stay at home with Elijah and get paid for it. Honestly, that's my choice, but I know that that's not how the world works. And I gotta work. I've also been working out every single day for at least 30 minutes. And I usually do like a booty workout 3 times a week, including arms. And then I do cardio twice a week. And I just like, I don't like the initial thought of me having to work out, but at night I like crave it. I'm like, I can't wait to work out tomorrow, because it's just like when you're sweaty and you're moving your body, you just feel alive. And yeah, I feel like I didn't feel alive for a long time. I felt like I was a lot of the time just going through the motions and like living like a robot and stuffing down my sadness and my hurt and my real emotions for a long time. And you can't just, what I thought when I was younger is I could stuff down all the emotions that I don't like sadness and hurt and anger and jealousy and all those emotions. I don't want to label them bad, because everyone's going to feel those emotions at some point in time, and they're not bad. You just can't ignore them. You have to feel through them. And what I did is I numbed them I ignored them, and I was like, I'm just not gonna have any emotions, like F you, get money type of attitude. And that can only last for so long, because you're a human and humans need connection, and you need to be able to feel good. And if you stuff down all those emotions that you don't like, you're eventually going to be stuffing down the emotions that you want to feel, like joy and happiness. Like if you hide the dark, you're going to hide the light as well. And I said that quote hella wrong, but you get what I mean, right? But yeah, like I've been focusing on my 2020 goals. I know I made a video about my goals, and I said I wanted to like connect with Elijah more, and that's what I'm doing by educating myself about his emotional health and how to set boundaries with him and playing with him, and you know, doing that connection thing with him. Because also I feel like one of my go-to things is when I get angry or when I'm just emotionally overwhelmed is disengagement. And I find myself like not wanting to engage in play with him. And I know that it's very important that I do, and it's very important that I maintain that connection with him. And so I'm trying not to disengage anymore. I'm trying not to like hide when I feel overwhelmed, or like push him away when I feel overwhelmed. And like I said, it's still a journey. It's an everyday thing that I have to do. But I'm trying to engage and remember that connection is very important for him. And so I'm sticking to that goal still. And then also my goal of working out and eating healthy. It's going okay. Like this week I've ate less hot Cheetos than I have the week before and the week before that. Usually had hot Cheetos like every night, but I know that it's not good, so I haven't been having them every night. But I also was gonna like totally restrict carbs from myself, and I don't want to do that because that's unrealistic. Like, I'm not gonna go without carbs for the rest of my life. Like, it's impossible. So I'm just gonna do it in moderation. And with that, I think it's also teaching me how to love myself, because when I restrict myself from things that I want, that's not love, that's like being punished. But obviously having that healthy boundary of not emotionally eating or going overboard. I'm kind of just trying to eat when I'm hungry, not when I'm bored or sad. And also, eating disorders and shame go hand in hand as well. And people might think of an eating disorder as like anorexia or bulimia or stuff like that. But no, like, you can definitely eat your emotions as well. And I didn't really think I was doing that until I started becoming more educated and aware that that's very well what I do when I'm emotional and stressed out. Like, I love me some snacks when I'm stressed out. And I also want to talk about like smoking weed. It's legal here in Oregon, and I'm an adult, so I do smoke, but I don't want it to be like a thing that numbs me. And I don't smoke all day, every day. I just smoke like once a day at night. But I feel like sometimes I smoke because I am feeling a certain way and I don't want to do that. But I don't know, I just feel like when I watch YouTube or something and when I smoke, like, it's just more enjoyable, and I wish I could enjoy it without it. Even talking about it makes me feel uncomfortable because it brings me shame, but I need to talk about it because it's something I struggle with. And I don't know if I'm struggling with it because other people have made me feel bad about smoking. I just want to know that I'm like smoking for the right reasons and not to hide a feeling. You know what I mean? Okay, so where are my lashes? Here they are. I low-key don't even know why I'm doing my makeup, but I guess it's for the sake of the video, right? I'm already 34 minutes in, 35. Yeah, so I think we're just gonna go like a little grocery shopping mish. I'm thinking about selling eyelashes when I get my taxes back. I'm thinking of doing research on getting a vendor and picking out some eyelashes and seeing how that does. Because I can make, you know, money on the side of my real job that I'll be having. And then I'll have multiple forms of income instead of just one. I really think I'm going to do it. So stay tuned for that. because I think eyelashes are so in right now that it would definitely be a hit. And people could pay for their shipping and stuff. I can buy a laptop. I'm definitely buying a laptop because I know I can film with my phone just fine, but just like editing I think would be easier on a computer. And then if I'm trying to make a website for my eyelashes and stuff, then a computer is definitely going to be needed. And then also, while I was job searching these past couple weeks, I know that it'd be a lot faster if I could just type out the application on a computer. So I think overall, just like a computer is a good investment. I do have a laptop, but some of the buttons are missing because when Elijah was little, he would take the buttons off. So yeah, I need to just buy a new one. I'm also thinking of taking a little trip to Legoland for Elijah's birthday. But I'm not sure how that's going to work out with my work schedule or if I can even do it, but I really want to. I just want to create a memory with him and go on a trip because I've never been to California. He's never been to California, never been on an airplane. And I just want to experience that with my baby. And he deserves it for sure. It's really all about if my work is going to allow it. But they seem pretty chill. So we'll see. So yeah, I'm just doing something slightly on the basic side, just because I'm probably just going to go to the store, to be honest. But I really wanted to make a video because I haven't made a video in a long time, and it actually is like making me feel really good because I want to do YouTube. Oh yeah, that was my other goal that I wanted to do, was make more YouTube videos, and I'm kind of slacking on that goal. I wanted to say slacking on my Mackin', but I have like so many slogans in my head that I need to just start. Actually, I don't need to start talking any which way. I can talk however I want, okay? I keep like telling myself in my mind, like, don't say that, don't do this. Like, bitch, just say it. Okay. I'm looking for, oh, my foundation's right here. So I'm thinking of doing front framing highlights as well when I get my taxes. I got a lot of plans for this tax money. But I just can't stand my hair color. And I feel like front framing highlights would be very, very low maintenance. I mean, not even highlights. I think I heard this lady call them a money piece, and it's just where like you're super blonde right here, but I kind of want to like a foliage, which means it's like, I don't know what that means actually, but I just know that this lady did like 2 blonde pieces on this girl in the front of her hair, and then did it like light in the back. That way when she like moved her hair, everything blended really nicely together. And it was also dark on top. Like, I don't want to be, I used to think that I wanted to be like super blonde, like platinum ice queen, but yeah. And also like where I break out is on my like chin and my my neck area, which has to do with the hormones. Like if you break out on your forehead, it's like oil and dirt, and I think like your liver or something. And then like if you get acne on your cheeks and stuff, it's from your stomach. And like anything on your chin is hormonal. And I've had hormone issues for my whole life. And a lot of that has to do with like the food we eat, all the processed food. But why does it have to taste so good? Why did Frito-Lay have to invent hot Cheetos? Honestly, I think that would solve all my problems. Because I don't usually have rice, or pasta, or a lot of bread. Like, my main thing is hot Cheetos with lime. I mean, I even made a mukbang. It's a real epidemic. I used to eat like a whole bag a day when I was younger. Like those big bags too. And then they just started coming out with like baked hot Cheetos, which are fire. Well, actually lately they've been having a weird taste, so I've just been having the regular Cheetos with lime. And then like the Cheeto Puffs I was obsessed with. And of course they have it in like a family size bag. Oh, and then they had to come out with those Cheeto Asteroids. And it's like a trend now to eat hot Cheetos. And actually, shout out to Syra. She's the one who showed me that hot Cheetos and lime are like super fire. Like squeezing the lime juice, like I did in my mukbang. And I just can't eat the Cheetos without lime anymore. Like, I have to have a lime. Also, they're thinking of, my friends and I are thinking of going to Vegas in May. And I'm so freaking down, but it's hard for me to get a sitter, especially for a trip like that. But I'm hella down, and I think that would be a blast. I've been to Vegas before, but I didn't really I just wish I had the mindset I have now when I was down there, because it'd be over. And I would just have like a lot of fun, a lot more fun. And like save my money and like just probably, well, who knows, you know, like I always think of that, like if I could go back I would do this, but who knows, like if I could have even done it back then, like a lot of things could have happened. Just because I say like if I could go back, I mean like if I could go back and everything was the same except for my mindset, you know what I mean? But then if I made a different choice, then something else could have happened. Like I'm just ready to go there again and like re-experience stuff. Shout out to this Morphe baking powder. I really like it. And the lighting. I also want to get a 2-bedroom apartment for Elijah and I. Because Elijah needs his own room and his own bed, and I think that would be easier to set boundaries and stuff. And so Elijah and I are at McDonald's. I decided to take him here to come play. And yeah, I just don't really have an ending for the video, but thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for more.